Hi, it's Michael.
And I'm Tim, and you're listening to Off the Market with Team Summer.
Thank you again for joining us during this wonderful holiday season. Wishing you and the family, of course, all the best.
Yes.
Let's dive in.
Yeah, let's do it.
What are we chatting about today?
Well, you know what? What we should do is maybe get into what we think are some of the best-selling features of a home. And this is important because we always go through homes and people are like, what should we do? What do we need to do? And you'd be surprised. Many homes that we go into are very close to being perfect.
I would say, yeah.
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 And then other homes, no matter what we tell them, let's just say there may be more that needs to be done.
It needs more than a broom.
Yes.
Well, we've said 100 times, less is more. So I'm
That's
going to throw that out there. Less is always more. Think about that as we discuss other options.
Oh, yes. So to me, one of the best features of any home that I go through is pride of ownership. And pride of ownership just doesn't mean clean floors. Pride of ownership means that when they open up the fridge, because they may, it looks clean. They may open up the cabinet doors to see what type of hardware is there and whether or not they're self-closing doors. But again, there are areas of a home that need to be more than tidy. They need to feel like their home. And that's something that, again, is sometimes difficult to, tackle. But pride of ownership, when we walk into a home and we feel that, there's nothing better.
Yeah, there's so much to unravel with that pride of ownership, and it comes down to sometimes scent friendly.
Yes.
We see a lot of the, I don't know what you call them, but they heat out diffusers, yeah, and sometimes that's very lovely. Other times it can be a little overpowering. But dog smells, cat smells, things like that. And again, you said pride of ownership. Simple things like, if you've got some dirty dishes in the sink, which, by the way, is a pet peeve for Mr. Somerville. He does not put dishes in the sink.
Yeah, it's my 2 cardinal rules. Make the bed and no dishes in the sink in the morning.
Take a couple extra seconds. Maybe you can't run a full cycle on the dishwasher. If you have one, throw in the dishwasher, hide it for me. It's like your closets. Most times we're not really looking in the closets when we're showing your homes. So, if it's a walk-in, can't really get around that. We're definitely showing that off.
No.
But just hiding those little dishes, keeping the kitchen neat and tidy.
Every time I do an open house, what I try to do is I actually play soft jazz. And why is it sets the mood. It's very easy to listen to. I don't have to worry about commercials. I don't have to worry about anything. But the background music and lighting is so important. So we always say daytime or nighttime, lights should be on. And 2 reasons. Number 1 is we never know what the weather is going to be like. So it could be a cloudy day and now all of a sudden it still shows well, it shows bright. But the other reason is because you'd be surprised how many lights out there have 3 or 4 lights that are light bulbs, and we'll go into one. It'll have 3 soft and 1 warm, and you can tell, and it stands out.
Light versus this orange sunlight.
Yeah. So it gives the homeowner a chance to make sure, yes, that all the lights are working and that they're very, very, similar. So I would definitely say that, staging is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so when we talk about staging, yes, there are professional companies out there. Given the price factor, what I would say is that any good licensed realtor with any form of knowledge should be able to help you with the basics of staging. You said in many times in our podcast that less is more. It's something that we at Team Somerville truly promote and enhance when we discuss that with our sellers. But what we would say is that when you're staging a home, one very important aspect is flow. When you walk in, you don't want to kick, an ottoman, a table. You want to make sure that people can get to the middle of the rooms. You want to make sure that we talked about lighting, the pictures. We always say it's fine to have personal pictures. Just don't have that personal wall of fame with 18,000 pictures of one child and then 3 of everybody
If
else.
there are some personal effects that you can put away,
Yeah.
even things we've seen bedrooms staged a certain way that flows best for them. But in instance, like we open the door and it hits the bed, just so that the children can have the rest of the house the rest of that room to play in.
Yes,
That's great for them.
that's right.
But as soon as we open that door and it bangs into the bunk bed, first we're like, sorry, because we're Canadian. We have to apologize to the beds.
That's right.
But it just sets the wrong
Well,
tone to the
yep.
potential buyer.
I agree. And we at Teen Somerville, when we do go through your home, we always say that we try to give your room, each room, a mark out of 10. Now, that's not comparable to any other home. That's your own property. So when we walk in, we always say, you'll never get a 10. Nothing is ever perfect. But we'd love to see each room classified, for what it's best suited for, and hopefully get you a number somewhere between 8 and 9 out of that room. So certain rooms are storage rooms. Make sure they feel like they're storage rooms. Make sure everything is in totes around the outside perimeter so people can walk into that room and hopefully feel that there's some space to that room. Kitchen, when we talk about countertops, we talk about your fridge. Yes, sometimes you do have certain items that have to stay on a fridge, like our magnet calendar that we give to most people. Yes,
College today for yours.
that's right. That's right. But it's great to again depersonalize some of that to help bring that number up in your own personal
I
home.
would say in my household, I'm very guilty of that. Well, we have so much artwork on the fridge
Oh yes.
that if somebody was to walk into my kitchen,
Oh,
it would probably be an eyesore for them.
okay. Okay. Well, off the top,
Note to self.
yes, off the topic and off the market. Years ago, I remember going to the AGO, which was in Toronto, the Art Gallery of Ontario, and the Canadian art that was there was just absolutely amazing. If you're ever in Toronto and you're thinking, let's catch a Blue Jay game, let's catch a Maple Leaf game, let's go to Casaloma, I understand all that. But go to the AGO, and I will tell you, you will be floored with what you see. It's just simply amazing. And again, just one of those hidden gems that most people, when they travel to Toronto, may not visit. What's your what would be a hidden gem in St. John? Would you say?
A hidden gem. That's a good one. For me, if you're athletic, it would have to be the Harbor Pass.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that. To be able to walk that much along the harbor and make your way to uptown,
It's from the west side.
from the west side.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal.
It's an item that gets overlooked.
Rockwood Park. Rockwood Park, actually, one of the original designers actually helped design Central Park in New York. And Rockwood Park at one point had everything. It had water slides and it had the zoo, of course, and so forth. But what people may not realize is that there are some great biking paths and walking paths, great restaurant there. There's still an awful lot that offers, a suburb, sorry, a urban city such as St. John, a great place to almost escape. And it's minutes from everywhere in St. John.
Now, I would say it's a well-known feature, but if you're new to the area, the Irving Nature Park.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the Irving Nature Park, you've got a roadway, so you can drive through the entire park. Off of that, they've got trails, biking paths, great scenic lookouts. I believe they still have the
Yeah.
binoculars that you can look out
we can.
and
See the seals.
see the seals playing on the rocks and things like that. And if you're lucky, you might see a little fin in the air.
Yeah, that's right. Hard to say. That's right. And we do. We're spoiled that way. The Fundy Trail, which officially opened here not too many years ago, is absolutely spectacular.
Absolutely. I mean, you go a little bit more north, like you said, Funny Trail, Hopewell Rocks.
Yeah. And the other way, you have New River Beach,
Mhm.
which is great. My favorite beach, though, there's a place outside of Black's Harbor, or right near Black's Harbor, on the way down towards the Grand Manan Ferry. It's called P Point. And you have to stop, and there's no big sign there. So when you stop, you park your car, and you walk a couple kilometers in. And when you get there, when the tide is out, you can actually walk across to this island where there's a lighthouse. But the seashells, you can get there. And just, again, we talk about privacy, tranquility, serenity. I mean, New Brunswick has so much to offer anybody that just wants to get back to nature.
Absolutely. When I was growing up, to me, every day on the Bay of Fundy was like a new canvas. We would walk the beach. I mentioned the Irving Nature Park. We used to walk the whole thing,
Oh, yeah.
on a daily basis. This was growing up as a family. I think it was just my parents, with 4 kids, they're trying to tire us out.
Yeah.
And I see that now.
Okay. Yeah.
What I like about living on the Bay of Fundy is every time that tide recedes, the beach is
Oh.
yours to explore.
Yeah.
And you're gonna try to sneak home some rocks, and your parents are gonna say, get rid of that and stop putting rocks in your pocket. Right?
Yeah.
The driftwood,
Oh.
people make art out of it.
Yeah.
It's just there's so much that we have to offer.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that.
Every day with the tide, it's a whole new picture. You can't go more than once, and you'll see a different picture every time, right? So one thing you want to talk about was unique features found in a home.
Yes. So we talked real briefly about this before sitting down for our podcast.
Yeah.
And these are some unique features that we've personally seen and cannot get out of our head.
Okay.
So I'll open it up by saying a 100% pink kitchen. Cupboards. The countertop was a different type of pink.
Yeah.
The flooring was like pink and white. What do you call that? Checkerboard.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Pink frilly curtain.
Oh, good. But
I think she loved pink.
okay, but the age-old question will have to be, what color was her toilet?
Blue.
Oh my goodness! Knowing there's a pink toilet out there, man.
I know. Well, in the older homes, we've seen a lot of blue, pink, green.
At Harvest Gold. Oh yes, there we go. Who would have thought having a white toilet would be so modern? Yeah.
Standard.
Okay. So here's one for me. Showing a home, uptown, multifamily, right in the living room. Hot tub. Hot tub.
Now, I got to ask, is it a blow up?
It doesn't matter what it is. That's a ton of weight to be in a living room in an century-old home.
And they did not live on the main floor.
No, it was not. I think that was the third floor. And many people may or may not know, but the older homes, a lot of times, they had what was called balloon framing, which meant that the actual load-bearing walls were all on the outside. They had this notion believing that these homes would be fine because of the walls and everything else within. And of course, the way we build homes today is one thing, but having that hot tub in the living room was just, I don't know, crazy.
I mean, when you want to relax but catch the game,
Yes. No, I get it.
I'm thinking of all the moisture.
Yeah. Talk about moisture. Have you ever seen an indoor pool? Indoor in-ground pool?
Not in the actual house. It's always been kind of an exterior dwelling.
Yeah, we've had a few with the indoor pools, which is quite unique because it takes up so much space and the power bill is so much higher,
Absolutely.
but beautiful feature if you're going to use it. But the cost to do that, every time that we've had one, nobody ever gets their full money back when they have something like that.
No. They think, I put $100,000 pool in.
Yeah.
I shall get that back.
But it's even more than that. A pool these days, an in-ground pool's almost $100,000. Now you have to build the structure and do everything. And of course, you know what they all have. They all have a sauna with them.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. So anyway, do you have another one for me?
I was going to actually say sauna.
Oh.
So in the Scandinavian countries, that's very normal, but we're starting to see a lot more of that coming over. Either they're built in that way, or you can order online and get some kits that you put together. And
Oh, yeah.
seen a lot more saunas.
Outside, too. A lot of the outdoor saunas are becoming much more popular.
Yeah, you had a listing probably last year,
That's right.
and it looked like a big old octagon, like an old wooden barrel.
Yeah, but
Big shot.
County.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now you say things coming from overseas and so forth. Bidets.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm telling you.
Well, I have a client that has like a $2,000 toilet.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a bidet. It warms you. Again, I don't want to get too personal. We like to keep our comedy clean.
Yeah, do you have to leave a tip on the...
It does everything. And yes, you're right. It does pair with your phone. We'll play you music. So if you want that soft jazz, as you mentioned, while you do your thing,
That's right.
it's an option.
Okay, that's great to know.
What was the last one? Oh, we both agreed on this one. We've shown homes where, let's just say, they are prepared for the apocalypse.
Oh my goodness.
So we're talking shelves and shelves of canned goods,
Yeah.
other items that you might need for a pew-pew.
Look.
They're ready if the power went out and Armageddon was on.
Yeah.
They're ready to defend and eat.
Well, we've seen some of these homes, and again, especially when Y2K was going through
Oh,
and everybody was worried about the millennium, what we had noticed was that many people were, cautious about what was going to happen. And yeah, I'd walk into homes and see 85 million boxes of rice, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
so this is what they're going to live on for the next 20 years if anything happens.
Now 20 packages of toilet paper. I mean, that was a different time.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring up painful memories.
No.
We definitely see a lot of that.
Oh, I agree. Saying that though, I remember selling a home on the west side, and the person had worked for a communications company, and this is going back in the '60s, and when the FLQ and everything was, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Cuban Missile Crisis was occurring and so forth, and what ended up happening was there was a bomb shelter, and they had access from the house underground to the garage underground, that if anything happened, that again, anyway, it
Yeah,
was unique.
that would be a sight to see.
What's a sight to see is that there's a place in Ottawa, Carp, and so what is there is what's known as the Diefenbunker. In the Diefenbunker, same thing. When the crisis was occurring, there is this massive, massive bunker that's on this hill that you wouldn't know. It's just this big hill, but you can go in. It's a museum now, and it's still like the day it was finished. And this is back when Diefenbaker was prime minister, also known as the chief. But anyway, but Diefenbaker was one of the 500 names to, of course, be part of the bunker if anything was to occur. And he actually said no. And why is because his wife and daughter were not on the list.
Really?
Could you imagine?
Really?
What it couldn't get over is we live in lavish days, if you ask me. You actually see the room that our prime minister would have been in, and it felt more like a prison cell. Yeah,
It's an interesting perspective.
yeah, yeah. So if you're ever, in Ottawa, lots of museums,
Yeah.
but the Diefenbunker was quite cool.
We're learning something every day.
That's right. That's right.
No, quote me on this. John Diefenbaker, he was our prime minister when we erected the true Canadian flag.
I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah, 19.
Yeah, well,
I know I'm putting myself on the spot here.
well,
But note to self, we're going to Google that.
that's right. So let's get back into real estate. Actually, before we do real estate, because will probably be our last podcast before.
Before the holidays,
Yeah,
possibly.
So, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Every year, I would say I struggle with that. But
What?
this year, I think I really need to use my treadmill more. Who else has a treadmill that's also known as a coat hanger or a laundry basket?
Yes. Dust collector is the way.
Right now, I have Christmas presents wrapped and
Yeah.
sitting on the treadmill.
Yeah.
So you may remember a TV show called Modern Family, very huge.
Yes.
So Phil Dunphy had he's a realtor. That's why I love it.
Yeah.
He had an episode where he has Stairmaster, and it takes place in California, and he was going to walk to Canada before the year is out.
Really?
And the whole episode kind of has some tidbits of information back and forth of, showing him on the Stairmaster trying to walk to Canada from his home. So using that, and I don't think this is a crazy number, I want to walk 1,000 kilometers in 2026.
Really?
I did the math. 1,000 is not actually that bad. If you're doing 5K here and there, or maybe a 10K day, that kind of thing.
Okay.
When you break it down 3 times a week,
Okay.
it is obtainable.
Okay.
But let's go on record. You're holding it to me.
Yeah.
You're
Okay, Mr.
doing
Diamond.
treadmill. I know.
Mr. is a Christmas movie.
It is.
Yes. Okay.
So one of them will have to be, and I think that's the biggest one,
Yeah.
right? And there'd have to be some type of, I don't know, maybe we'll talk about it from podcast to podcast in the new year, where I'm at. Maybe we'll have like a running tally in the background, a little thermometer. It could be fun. I would say read more. I know you and I both agree on that.
That's right.
We definitely read on not just business, but leadership and well-being.
Yeah.
And just all of that encompasses, it puts us in that great mood to become good leaders,
Right.
good husbands, good fathers, things like that. The other one this kind of goes with the treadmill. I really like to lose 15 pounds.
Yeah, listen,
I'm just at that number where I'm just not happy.
I think you're reading up on what my resolution.
I know, I know. Well, I watch our podcast, and if you didn't know, we are on YouTube, and I'm not liking this. So I like to, I like to look a little better for you out here.
Sounds good.
So
I'll look
those
for
are
that.
those are my biggest ones. I may have stole some of yours,
Yeah, that's fine.
but hit me.
Okay.
I got a plan.
Personal and business. So, personal, I want to be more accountable to myself. So when it comes to, like you said, losing a few pounds or reading a few books, I'm not one that will have to read 50 books next year. But man, I'd love to get between 5 and 10 in. That really, hopefully, shaped my life a little bit better than prior to reading those books. I'd love to have more time with family. And of course, when we talk about, spending time with family, well, it's very important. One thing I do know is my grandson still needs to learn how to skate better, so it'd be great to have him out on the ice more.
Absolutely.
My daughter, who of course is in Fredericton, we don't see her as often, so when she is, I want to make sure that there's still some, quality time with her before she actually is out of school and on her way starting her own story. When it comes to business, I always believe you have to start the year off on the right foot, not the left one. The right foot is again foot on the gas pedal, making sure we're doing everything we can to make sure the business is moving along. Many times with realtors, what happens is we actually take the foot off the gas pedal. We need that break, whether or not it's mental, physical, or both. The circumstances we do, and then it takes a while to get those wheels in motion.
Yeah.
Very important for our team to keep those wheels moving. And again, if you're thinking about buying or selling real estate, Team Somerville will again be available for you no matter what day of the year. And we say that because as of the last few years, you'd be surprised how many times did we get a call, email, text, Christmas,
Absolutely.
Boxing Day.
Your
right?
phone is ringing,
Yeah.
and you're trying to cut the turkey.
That's right. Sure.
Or ham,
Yeah.
or oven smoked
That's right.
salmon.
The oven head smoked salmon. Come on now. Um, Another resolution is I want to make the team better. By making the team better, it means that if we're better, then we can provide you a better experience and much better service. And there's always room for improvement. And so, hoping what that will be that way. And last but not least, some of you may or may not know, but I have a 12-unit building that I'm building right now in Hampton. We're doing our best to have that done for completion of September 2026. So, awful lot of moving parts with that, and we're doing our best
A lot
to.
of extra stress on your plate.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I can't help but notice a lot of your personal and business goals will go hand in hand.
Sure.
Aspects of where you're giving a little bit more to some of your team members that often, that'll free you up for that family time. And like you said, you're empowering your team more, giving them the skills they need to be able to, take charge of certain situations, things like that would definitely free you up.
Oh, I agree.
So
Like,
we've over the years, I've definitely seen, a change in your team. Well, our team,
our team.
your team, our team. People becoming more and more knowledgeable. We've taken times. We used to meet every Tuesday morning. We'd call a realtor meeting, and there'd always be a little tidbit of information. Maybe it's a learning tool. That's something that's happened to a colleague or even our own teams, and say, look, this is what happened. Here's what we learned from it. Let's not do it again,
Right.
or things like that. So
Well, it gives us accountability within the team, and that's very important. Many teams that are out there, what they do is they combine their sales so that you can see, oh my goodness, they've done this. But they're all individual realtors doing their thing. With our team, what sets us apart is that literally everybody involved in the team is involved with every sale. So we may list your home, Michael and I, but maybe another associate member, maybe one of the Brittany's or Stephen, or of course Nick, may be doing an open house for us. And again, it does not mean that we're sitting around doing nothing, but what we do is we try to make sure that you get the full team approach. And by doing so, theoretically, instead of just paying for one when we talk about commission, you're actually paying for 10. So I'd much rather feel that having 10 people working on your behalf is much better than one.
well, absolutely. And if you go out and let's say you've nailed 6 listings this week.
That's right.
You personally cannot do 6 open houses that upcoming weekend, but it's important that these open houses, get done. So that's where we certainly differ from others who are just, again, I don't want to put any shade. Some are just, me, this is my business. I'm going to take care of it. Go away. Don't help me.
We all work differently. And I pride myself, and so do you, in our individual merits and our team merits. And so again, I give accolades and applause to all those realtors that work hard for their clients. But what I will tell you is that we all are different. It does not mean that we don't all have similar goals. But what we do is just a little bit different than most, and hopefully those that have worked with us in the past will work with us in the future, and that's probably one of the main reasons.
There's a lot of diversity on the team in aspects of different likes and things like that. So sometimes we may have a client that is not gelling with me.
That's right.
Maybe, hypothetically, it happens. But for some reason, they're just captivated by this smile over here. And so we said, hey, can you take over this person and make sure that they find their dream home and things like that. So there are different personalities.
Well, that's right.
And like I said, you get someone talking about your daughter loves old pickup trucks and SUVs and the old GMC and things like that. So you have people with similar interests. It really gels well, and it makes for a great relationship and hopefully a transaction.
I agree. So knowing that this will be our last podcast for 2025, we've talked about our resolutions, a little bit about real estate. One thing that we'd like to bring you in the new year is we'll have a few guests that will join us. Another thing that we would like to do is you can reach out to us on any of our platforms, and if you have any comments or if there's anything that you'd like to see us talk about, we'd love the opportunity to do so.
Absolutely. And if you haven't already, go on to Internet Explorer or whatever you use Internet Explorer. Listen to me. That's how old I am.
Oh my goodness.
Get on your website, go to A&E, check out Oceanfront Property, where Tim is going to be showing a property. It's going to be fantastic. Again, any website, log into your cable provider, check it out. And
yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. Do we have thanks to give?
Yeah, thanks as always, of course, to the team. Thank you to the producer, Hayden McNamee. Music again by Anthony Trim. We're so thankful that we're able to put this out there. And again, it's just a relaxed atmosphere. We want to pass on some knowledge, the tips and things like that, and give you the opportunity to know who we are and who you're working with when you choose Team Somerville.
Okay. And so from all of us,
follow us at Team Somerville.
Yeah, to all of you, this is Off the Market with
Team Somerville.